I had scheduled a live and I didn't have my microphone attached to my shirt. Oh my dear God. Fuck. Anyhow, that happens. So sorry about I sent an invitation. This is another stream. This is going to be uploaded. The other one I deleted because obviously nobody can hear anything. Okay, I'm going to start again. I just did the 20-minute live, but that's fine. Good practice, right? You always learn something in life. Happy Wednesday morning. You see it's sunny outside. I'm still in Spain. Why am I here? Just to get rid of all distractions, say no to a bunch of stuff so that I can say yes to the most important things that matter. I'm going to focus on my work, help you guys grow this thing, become a better version of me. Okay, today's live is about two things. Are you tired of people not respecting you? Tired of explaining and justifying yourself, your own decisions? I have 3 rules for you today that you can change that literally overnight if you implement these to the T. What are those 3? Number 1, stop explaining yourself. Number 2, stop negotiating. And number 3, don't look back. Door closes once, and that's it. Okay, let me explain that. And how did I arrive at that? First of all, this is my video from yesterday that I recorded. I wanted to record a video about some of my learnings from my past. Many of you, if you follow me, you have heard that I've gone through a lot in my life as far as moving the States for the first time when I was 19. I've started 3 companies from scratch, literally from zero as an entrepreneur. I lived in 4 different countries. I've done a bunch of stuff, gone through a divorce, another difficult breakup, and whatnot. So these are the life lessons and learnings that I basically apply here, and I give you the short, simple versions of those. Today, I started thinking about one of those things that many of my clients talk to me about as far as how can I command more respect? Why do I find myself justifying and explaining myself to other people, meaning better authority, better charisma, and all that? Okay. And that's why I started thinking, what are the things that I have done? And are there any learnings and lessons in my life that I could refer to? And one thing came to my mind, and it's actually something that, again, is related to my last relationship. It was a 5-year relationship that ended 3.5 years ago, very meaningful one, the last meaningful relationship I had. And I started thinking about myself and the mistakes I made. And now I told you to do 3 things, but myself, I broke every single one of those. I was not able to follow my own advice. Well, back then I didn't know that this type of advice existed. We start with number 1, stop explaining yourself. State the facts, tell the truth. Okay? I was too afraid. I was too emotionally attached to that person in that relationship. And I was afraid to basically say, even this sounds ridiculous. I've never been that way. But in that relationship, for some reason, I was. But I was not fully comfortable stating the facts and saying, okay, these are my values and this is how I do it. Because we had this weird dilemma from the get go, weird chemistry where she was testing her level of attention, or the level of attention that she got from me, by packing her bags and causing a lot of drama and all that. I'm not blaming anybody. I have my share of the problems, at least half of it, but that was very difficult for me. And I found myself explaining myself a lot instead of stating the facts and telling the truth. You don't need to send a 2-page email to other party goers about why you're not going. Simply, that's not good for me right now is enough. Simple. That's it. Move on. Rule number 2, stop negotiating. People in life end up spending a lot of time convincing others to live life their way instead of having conviction. And this whole 3-step model is basically what I call the conviction model. Conviction is the only thing. What does that mean in practice? Conviction is having 100% belief and self-confidence and conviction in your own values and beliefs. You are who you are. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to change myself for you. Of course, we end up making compromises in long relationships. That's not the point. Or in business relationships, or in a workplace. But the point is that we simply cannot be negotiating all the time. When you're comfortable, when you're comfortable with your own values, first of all, you stated the facts, you told the truth, and now you don't convince others, and you don't get convinced, or nobody's convincing you either. You're so much better off. Okay. And you're not responsible for anybody's feelings. When you have conviction in yours, you say, okay, this is who I am, no matter what they say. If that thing is the best thing for you to do this or not to do that, it doesn't matter who packs your bags or threatens to leave you or causes a lot of drama. That's on them. You're not responsible for anybody's feelings. My therapist once told me that, and this is such a no brainer, but took me a while to understand what she truly meant, that you're not responsible for other people's feelings or emotions, no matter what happens, no matter what they say or what they do, no matter how much they cry, laugh, whatever. You're not responsible for that as long as you do what's best for you. And of course, you're not breaking any laws and whatnot or hurting anybody intentionally. Took me a while. Number three, don't look back. Door closes once and it remains closed. No exceptions. When people show you their true colors, you believe them the first time. No exceptions. Nothing. That's it. That's it. And this was hard. But if you think about it, the first time is on them, but the second, third, and fourth is on you. When you choose a partner, the same way when you hire somebody at a workplace, it's guessing. Choosing a partner is guessing. Hiring somebody is guessing. Firing and promoting is knowing. The same way, when the same thing happens twice, three times, four times, five times in a relationship, then it's on you because you let that person do it to you if it's not good for you. Walk the fuck away. Why don't we do that? Because we are insecure. We are afraid to be alone, which happened to me as well. So these are the things. So what do I get? What happened then once I started implementing this? Over the last 3.5 years, I've met a lot of people. And this is what I do. I meet somebody. Let's say you are face to face with me. We have a cup of coffee. And I'm like, okay, this is who I am. I state the facts. I tell the truth. This is how I start. And then the conversation goes on and I ask very direct questions. And I'm like, okay, what do you want? What is it that what do you want to be in 20 years? And what I tell the other person is that, look, if this was to become a thing, whether it's a relationship or a business partnership, the same thing applies. Don't fall in love with the potential. Don't think what I should be doing differently. Are you comfortable with two versions of me? The person you see right now and what my goals are for the next 20 years. Relationships, business partnerships, everything in life falls under the same category. What we expect people to change, yeah, this would probably work. We could probably put this project or company together if this and that was true. No, it's never going to happen. So it's been such a big relief for me to finally realize that actually this type of stuff works. I don't need to hide anything because when I state the facts and tell the truth, I'm always on the safe side and I'm comfortable with whatever emotions I get back, whatever reaction I get back. So that's really the outcome of that. And by the way, for those of you who joined, my scheduled live one, I messed up because I didn't have my microphone clip. So I wondered why people just kept tuning out all the time. Anyhow, stupidity. This is my first live in a couple of days, and I wanted to talk about two things today. Number one, how you probably tired of people not respecting you. Why do you keep justifying and explaining yourself all the time, your own decisions? What are the three rules that I have implemented in my own life after the lessons I've collected over the last 49 years? And the three rules were this. Number one, stop explaining yourself. Number two, stop negotiating. And number three, walk the fuck away. Well, don't look back. It's the real name of that third rule. So that's it. And like I said, it's been life changing, the outcome as far as people respecting me more and the honesty and clarity, the transparency is what you get. That's really the biggest thing. When you're not hiding behind anything and you are comfortable with the outcome, but it requires for us to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And the reason why we can't do that, why we please others, why we explain this or that, is that we are victims of the same thing. We try to convince others to live life our way. If you think about life overall, there are two types of games you can play. There are infinite games and finite games. One of my favorite topics in life. An infinite game is a game that never ends. And we should only be playing those games, but because those are also the games that are win-win. Business is an infinite game. Relationships are infinite games. Health is an infinite game. There is no end point. You don't try to reach your peak physical condition by June. You try to stay healthy for life. See what I mean? You don't win in marriage. You try to stay married. You don't win in business. You never lose if you don't quit. Sometimes your only goal is to stay in the game. And a finite game is a game that has a winner and a loser. There are limited spots available. Status games are finite games. Think about politics, the worst example of all. There are X number of spots in the parliament or in the House of Representatives or in the Senate. Everybody fights for the same spots, or those people who are politicians. Somebody needs to lose his or her seat in order for you to get that or gain that status, right? It's a win-lose game. No wonder people spend all their time and effort trying to convince you to believe their agenda because that's supposed to be the only right one. No, that's all bullshit. There is no right or wrong. There's only what's right for you and what's right for me. That might be completely different. So that's the thing. You want to get a lot of respect from people. You first have to be comfortable with yourself being alone, because insecurity, we all have that. And especially in relationships, if we're not comfortable being by ourselves, being alone, then we look for that approval. We seek approval. We desperately want attention from others. We want people to back us up, because the lonely road, the leader road, the path or the creator path is the one that very few people are on. Most people are followers in life. And I don't think you ever get anything good out of your life if you follow the masses, if you are with the majority. You got to find that minority, whether it's being a creator, not a consumer, leader, whatever, follower, pick your word. That's how I look at it. Okay, the second topic, what I'm doing right now. I'm eating, this is my breakfast. So I recorded a short today, this morning, when I was making my breakfast here. And if you're a man in your 40s and you struggle with weight and you've tried every single diet program, try this. Well, I don't want to introduce another one for you, but instead of counting calories or macros, why don't you fix the number of solid meals you have per day? What does that mean in practice? Many of us think that they have 3 or 4 meals a day. You have your breakfast, you have your lunch, and your dinner, and maybe you admit that you have one snack. But most of us, we snack throughout the day. Somebody offers you a piece of candy or a piece of chocolate, and you eat a banana or an apple or a couple of cashew nuts or something when you're at work. Then you come home before dinner, you have a drink and maybe another piece of something, half a cookie. And then after an hour, you have dinner. And then after dinner, you kind of like, I don't know if I'm hungry, maybe you have a sandwich, but you don't really count those as meals. But let me tell you this, those are meals. And the problem is this. First of all, you put a lot of extra calories in your body. And I think, and the other thing that not many people talk about is the load on your digestive system. When I'm here, when I'm in Spain, I get out of my so-called normal routines, out of my comfort zone. My kids are back home, and I came here intentionally just to say no to everything and focus on work and live this very simple life. Um, what I noticed that when I literally have 3 meals a day and I don't snack in between, I give a huge break to my digestive system. My gut gets a break from those meals. A couple of things happen. I, for the most part, feel really hungry after or before I eat my next meal. And then, like I said, there's a break to my digestive system. My stomach is better. And I noticed that I maybe lose a couple of pounds of water weight. I'm a little tighter. I'm a little leaner. That's not really my goal. But I don't lose any strength. So I'm basically, my physical performance is at the same level. But I like the impact it has on my body. And especially my guts and my stomach seems to like that. So try that. Because in life, the biggest mistake we typically make is that we try to fix everything at once. That's why the signal versus noise thing that I keep talking about is so powerful, in my opinion, because it forces you to recognize what truly matters. And then you just do that one thing. Instead of trying to implement all kinds of changes to your diet, just fix one thing first and do that really well. Get that sense of accomplishment. that gains self-confidence, because confidence always comes from the past. It doesn't come, it's not in the future, it comes from the past. And then you take it with you, and then you take action, and then you again gain confidence if you jump into another thing that you're doing. So try this. I assume that your diet is not completely messed up. You're basically fine with whatever you have, 50 or 60% right. Occasionally have a burger and some fries and maybe a Coke and an ice cream here and there and maybe an occasional cookie. That's fine. Don't touch that stuff. But just fix the number of meals you have. Whatever works for you. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, but do not snack. Do not snack between the meals. That's really, really important. So try that. So today's live was about those 2 topics. For those of you joining later, my first one went south because the scheduled live, I forgot my mic. I was stupid. I changed my shirt. That's why. I had a hoodie on and it was hot here. And I changed my shirt and I freaking forgot the clip. And I was wondering why people just tune out so quickly. But that's the thing. So hopefully you get something out of this today. And I'm going to finish the rest of my breakfast. And then off I go. I'll talk to you again in a couple of days. See you.